Well, reading in general is one of the most intimidating parts of the IELTS exam, and for good reason. They are long, academic passages full of data and numbers and vocabulary words that even some of us native speakers haven't seen in a long time. So it's daunting and it's scary, and for good reason.
I tell them that, it all takes practice. If you want to improve your swimming skill, swim regularly, find yourself in water quite often. You can't really be on the side of the pool and improve your swimming skill looking at people swimming, right? So likewise, reading requires that, and they need to really read regularly and make time for reading.
There's a large majority of people that don't read that much in general, whether it's in their language or another language. So adding that on top of to having to study for an IELTS reading exam can make it even more difficult. So it's first of all just getting in the habit of reading,
In my experience, it happens that in quite a variety of educational contexts, that a popular way to approach an English reading text is to mine it for vocabulary. So people will simply read the whole text, use their intelligence and personal experience to understand it and underline all of the words that they don't know. This is, of course, the wrong way to approach an IELTS reading text. So what you really need to look for is not the information in the reading, but the information in the questions. It's actually not so much a passage reading test, which is how lots of people approach it, as a question reading test. The first thing to do is to read and understand the questions, after that to get an overall idea of the topic, and then to find the answers in the text.
The problem is you just don't have time to go into that much detail, that analytical meaning of the sentences and the words. So training them to understand the meaning of words from context, focus on nouns and verbs, and treat the IELTS reading exam more like a word find, more like a search and destroy mission. They're not there to read for pleasure, right? They're not there to read all of the text. They're there to read the 10% of the text that's going to help them find the answer. So it really boils down to how good are my skills at finding where the answer is versus being able to read and understand everything I'm reading.
Again, and this will always be my #1 piece of advice on any test anywhere, understand the question. If it says which 2 answers are appropriate, you need to give 2 answers. If it says use the answer only once, you know that you can't repeat it. And making a simple little silly mistake will cost you a mark. Do that 2 or 3 times, that could be half a band score. It seems simple, but read the question. The most important thing, I think, for both the listening and the reading is, if you don't know, guess. You don't lose marks for incorrect answers, so don't leave anything blank. You might get lucky.